to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
Here we are once again. We are hidden away in the war room in the high desert of southern Idaho. I'm here today with Mark and Mr. Kevin Tarver.
Me.
I almost said Dean.
No.
Sorry.
It don't matter.
Dean's kind of a ghost. He doesn't ever show up anymore.
I now have a footprint, man. You gave me a footprint on the internet.
That's right.
That's not
He's
good.
gonna have a fan following here.
We're tracking. Yeah, I'm gonna start. I don't realize. We're gonna start a Facebook page called Tarver.
You know, all that can be used against you in a court of law.
We're gonna start us one.
That's what they say on the cop show.
Start us one called Tarver, and you're gonna have fans and followers. You're not even gonna know about it.
That's okay. I'm armed.
Yeah. No, I thought about starting a separate podcast Facebook page, but I think Patriot Defense business page is fine. I think. I mean, what do you?
There's like crickets.
Well, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think we need a separate podcast, like Patriot Defense podcast page? I mean, you don't care because you're not on Facebook.
No.
Like a page specifically for the podcast?
For the podcast.
No.
Okay.
Probably not. It's probably better to have them tied together.
Combined.
Anyway.
You know, that way when Facebook goes and starts shutting them down, they don't have to do more work than they need.
Oh yeah,
to.
you're just making it easier for them.
They just shut down one.
Put you in Facebook jail.
Maybe I'll start one and I won't I'll publish it, but we'll keep it quiet so that ever shut one down, I can just crank up the other one. What do you think?
Yeah, if you get shut down on Facebook, then you just,
Start
blast your
another
podcast out there further.
Yeah, I'd be like, isn't
something.
there a
I don't know
movie
how
like
this
that?
works.
We run the freaking radio show out of a van and it keeps like pirate radio or something.
Yeah, you just keep moving around.
That's quite a van.
There you go. So, well, it's
hijacking people's Wi-Fi.
You got to park by Starbucks to make it work.
Yeah, or
I'm always in
McDonald's.
City Park or Starbucks. There you go. Don't move. The wind's just right. We can't get the podcast out. So, well, it's been a while. What have you done, Mark, that has been Second Amendment related? Well,
Working a gun counter, man.
More crickets again.
I see you've been busy.
Yeah, just work. Pretty much.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't been out shooting much. I should have, but
I wanted to shoot today during class.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. He taught part of the class, and it was fun. And I wanted to shoot too.
Yeah, I kind of did too. I was sitting there like watching them do it, and I'm like standing behind them doing it too. Without a gun.
Well,
in my
they're
hand,
they're learning, but I'm like, come on, go faster.
yeah,
Speed
go
it up.
faster. Yeah,
Let's make it look cool.
yeah.
But what about you, Mr. Kevin Tarver? Everyone's favorite. Before you
it's true.
talk, I get this all the time. So, like last week, Josh came down and was on the show with us, and his first question out of his mouth when he showed up is Kevin going to be there today? And I'm like, no. He's like, oh man, maybe next time. Dude, they all ask about you. They love your accent.
Who is all?
All
The
four
listeners.
Oh.
How many we have now?
I don't know. I have every time we do an episode, I get like 60 to 70 downloads in a week. So that, I don't know, that's not great, but it ain't bad. I appreciate that, and I want more. But it's not too bad. So that's how many downloads we get. So
right.
I'm just going to say 70 people listen every week. Maybe. I don't know. But anyhow, they love you.
That's odd. I don't know what to say about that.
You got to make sure you're here every week.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
We're gonna
man.
have
I work hard,
You're gonna have your own fan mail and everything. Oh, what'd you do?
Whoa! I just lost Facebook Live.
Just got kicked out.
Just got kicked out.
We were talking about
Man.
Facebook jail, and guess what happens?
Yeah. Guess who's listening?
I don't know how to make this work. No, it says it's still going.
Speaking of
It's
that,
still going.
did you get your government text message?
Oh, I didn't get I have two phones and I didn't receive.
I didn't either.
You
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't
either?
either.
None of the women in our class did either.
They don't care about Idaho.
Well, I was in the store and everybody's phone were going off, you know.
Really?
So I just have my alerts turned off, so I don't know. Maybe that's why.
I think it's because they know we have guns.
None of the phones in my house went off.
Really?
Yeah, none.
My kids never said they got it. I don't know. My wife never said she
Now, here's
got
what's
it.
really creepy is I have like an old iPhone that I use as an alarm clock pretty much. That's all, and it's just sits there plugged in next to my bed.
Right.
No service, no Wi-Fi. I don't even have the Wi-Fi turned on or nothing. And it got that message.
Wow.
I don't know how that's even possible.
Maybe carrying a firearm cancels it out.
That could be.
Maybe we're on a different list.
Baby, you got 2 phones. You didn't get an alert to each.
None of my phones went off.
And my work phone is always going off about something.
Yeah, this one's like an iPhone 5. I mean, it's an older iPhone.
Right.
And it was just sitting there plugged in, but the Wi-Fi wasn't on.
I don't
And
know.
it has no cell service, so
Wow. That's
a little creepy.
yeah.
Almost.
That's.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
You didn't bring your phone in the war room, did you?
No.
Yeah,
not that one.
yeah. Don't be doing that.
No, that one's still at home. So.
We're gonna have a box right outside the door. Everyone's got to
Drop your phone.
Drop your phone in the box.
In a lead lined box.
Yeah, there you go. So, what have you done that was been Second Amendment related?
Well, let's see. I don't know.
Have you done anything?
I don't think anything.
Nothing.
Found a way to cheat on the Manus.
He mastered it. He called me up because he goes, I figured it out.
Oh, you can cheat this thing,
It took
man.
me a week, but I figured it out.
I got the cheat codes.
Well, it's giving me too many recommendations when it's. I mean, when it's good, it's good. And I'm like, you still taking off? So I started playing on it, toying with it, and yeah, you can cheat it. You can get a higher score by doing less.
Wow.
So it was
Don't tell anyone that.
okay. Y'all didn't hear it from me.
I know we used the Manus today in class, and
Yeah.
they loved it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
We're the ones that we had to use some tape and tape it to the revolver,
Nice.
but it worked.
They call that redneck engineering.
It's right. It worked. I just mostly wanted them to get a feel for just kind of what it did, and it's the lines. They like looking at the lines to see these women can tell where they're going, you know, when they're pulling the trigger. And so I think that one lady would probably go buy one.
Mm-hmm.
Duct tape is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I couldn't get it stuck to the shield though. Shields don't have any rails.
Unless it's the smallest one, like the 380 Easy, has a rail on it.
Has a rail, but
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if that was was that like a first gen shield that she had maybe?
No, it's a 2.0.
Really?
Yeah, but
no rail.
Yeah, no rail. They don't, and they usually don't. I mean, I don't.
They missed the boat on
Most
that.
of the concealed carry pistols, unless it's like a Springfield XDS
Diamondback, maybe it has a rail.
or a Glock. I don't even know if the Glock 40. I don't know. Anyway,
Huh?
most of them don't have.
I don't know. Any other Manus was a hit today in class. They all thought it was pretty sweet. So
Yeah, I like it.
So there's one gal and it was funny, and they're learning. She's shooting that revolver, and I'm asking her about her side. There's a ton of flies in here.
Yeah, that shouldn't be happening.
It shouldn't be. She was shooting a revolver, and I was asking her how she's lining her sights up, and she's holding that front sight a little high. And I asked her why she does that. And she says, well, when I pull the trigger and I shoot the gun,
It comes down.
it comes down. And I'm like, oof. So I say, is that how you've been shooting that? She goes, well, yeah. And I'm like,
How was she hitting though?
I'm like, you're compensating.
Right.
I said, that's not right.
But how was she hitting?
I think
I
she was
gotta
still
know.
I think she was still hitting high.
She was still hitting a little bit high, but I'm like, okay. She goes, well, how should I be doing this? I'm like, correctly? So no, she took it. She goes, I'm here to learn. Tell me. So I told her, I said, sights on a revolver usually are absolutely horrible. But I said, you need to get those sights lined up correctly. Because what you're doing is you pull the trigger, you're dipping down. And I said, get everything done right, and you're going to be shooting consistently. She's actually she's actually shooting better today, I think, than any of the other two classes. But it's kind of funny.
I'm loving the trigger and the feel and everything, the grip on that canic. I just need to shoot it.
Is that the one you've been running the Manus with?
Yeah, I need to shoot it to see how it where it's hitting at, because after I got their holster, I'm like,
what do you mean where it's hitting
I'm kind
at?
of concerned.
What do you mean where it's hitting at?
I mean, some guns are.
I've never bought a gun that had crappy sights. You know,
DB9.
the sights weren't lined up from the factory.
DB9.
DB9, that's just the sights are lined up on it. That gun is
Let me
crap.
restate what Todd said. He never bought a gun.
But I don't know. It's funny when people. The sights are off when I bought it from the factory. First thing I did is move them around.
Oh, I know. Just tamper with them. Take that little punch and start beating on them. And
The ones that don't slide, we're gonna slide.
Generally
those.
not, but a low price gun from Turkey that had that holster, I need to shoot it. You saw the holster. Did you see the holster?
I didn't see this one because mine.
Yeah,
mine's all legit.
Yeah,
I hear
mine's
everybody
not.
having all kinds of problems with theirs.
Yeah, mine's not. It's like, okay, we ran out of good stuff. Just throw some stuff together.
I think they're just getting rid of like a bunch of left-handed stuff that they converted. You know.
I sent them a text and they wouldn't reply to me.
Huh.
I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's what you get.
We had some. I had some. The rest of this church group come over last night, and they were doing their little qualification round shooting deals that I sign off on. And there's two points I want to talk about there. First of all, most of them are shooting. Actually, there's 3 points. Most of them are shooting the M&P, the 2.0. Tell you what, they switched them out with that. You know, that 2.0s have a pretty decent trigger anyway. Mm-hmm. They switched them out with those Apex triggers. Oh my gosh, I have to go buy myself some Apex triggers now.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever shot an Apex trigger?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I've never have messed with them. Phenomenal little triggers. Those just.
How much are they?
About 150, 160 bucks.
Oh, that's nice.
Beautiful triggers. I mean, there's like no sponge. It's just click. And that's
Last
it.
trigger I bought was $500, and I didn't really care for it. So ever since then, I'm like, screw it. I'll buy a whole new gun until I find one I like.
No, these Apex triggers, I would seriously consider. Actually, I looked last night. I was seriously consider buying one. Mm-hmm. The triggers are awesome. Those guys are shooting real well. But there was a gentleman there. He was shooting a Glock, and you kind of look right there. That's what they were shooting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he shot. It took him two rounds to qualify. He was only out a couple shots, but they wanted to make sure he got it. You know, he could do it. But afterwards, we were looking at his gun, and someone's like, "That front sight's crooked." And I'm not kidding. You pulled up, you held up his gun, and his front sight was tweaked. And the entire time he was shooting down the left side of the silhouette target. The entire time.
How did he do that?
I have no idea because he shot last time and it wasn't messed up. So I don't know. I haven't looked hard enough to know how the Glock front sight is put in. It's from underneath the slide.
Yeah.
So it looked like it was actually just turned.
There's actually a Glock tool. It's a special tool you need to.
Yeah, it was turned just slightly, and it was just enough that when he was getting way out, because they were actually having to go way back out of the shooting pit to take their last set of shots because they needed more distance.
So he was off the pavement.
Time he was getting out there, he was getting way out. But we convinced him at that time. He was getting frustrated, so I convinced him to, or all of us had. Okay, at this point, you need to probably be aiming at the right side of the target if you're going to keep the shots. And so I'm telling this guy to compensate at this point. And then we saw his front sight, and it was all tweaked. I was like, you were shooting so well. But no, this wasn't straight from the factory, though, man.
We don't know that.
It was. This gun
we
looked
don't
like
know.
It'd been around a while. But anyhow, that was interesting. So the Apex trigger, and I saw a new form of clearing a cover garment when drawing.
What was it called?
The Dracula.
The Dracula.
They call it the Dracula. And maybe it's online. It probably is. I've never seen this in any gun videos I've watched. I've never seen it anywhere.
After you described it to me, it kind of makes sense why. I can see the cape thing,
Yeah. So what it is when they go to draw their firearm.
What, did you have everybody out here in dusters, man?
No, their church made them wear their suit coats.
Okay.
And so they were jeans, t-shirts, and a suit coat because they had to be able to clear their
that.
cover garment. So instead of sweeping away with their strong hand, with their right hand, sweeping away the garment and grabbing on to the firearm, what they were doing is they were using the left hand and they were going whack, and they were pulling it from the left side. It was like Dracula.
Oh, okay, I see.
His cape
Like he
out.
pulls his cape.
I tell you what, that
So they were snatching the left side to get it away from the right side.
And I was
That is crazy.
I was questioning it, but that cleared that took that jacket and cleared that gun better than anything else I saw yesterday.
Drew all attention to you too, though.
It snapped out there too like a freaking cape. It was
It's like one of those
You should have
dinosaurs
filmed
that
that.
like fans out there.
yeah,
You know,
dude. It was pretty.
or
It
a
was
cobra or something.
it was pretty awesome though. And I don't know what's going on.
Did you
Facebook
film it?
What?
Did you film it?
I did not because they don't want to be on.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
They don't want to even know what church it was.
Yeah,
I
but
wanted to because
when you hear those jackets pop,
Pow! You know what though? Those guys are good enough shots that I don't think I would even. There's not going to be any problems in church, man. They're good. And some woman showed up and did it. She was a damn good shot too.
wow, she was doing it too.
Yeah.
What was she pulling to the side?
She's
She's wearing a jacket too?
She just put a sweater or something on. It was buttoned down, kind of like a cardigan or something like that. And
Right.
she wasn't pulling it to the side like that. Just there's this one guy and his sons. They're the only ones doing the Dracula. And I feel goofy even saying that. I was like, "Do you guys do that just because it's October?"
That's interesting. I would love to see it.
That's the coolest thing I'd ever seen. A whack pulling to the side like.
I get the picture of John Travolta every time you do that.
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Saturday Night Fever.
But I'm going to tell you, it was so effective though.
Huh.
But I was impressed. Maybe it doesn't take much to impress me. I don't know. But anyhow,
Well, it's new. It's new and it's different anyway.
That's
You
the
get
Dracula.
break the monotony.
yeah.
Yeah. So, thoughts from behind the gun counter, sir?
Uh-oh. There's
Yeah,
your segment.
You said you had some deep ones,
yeah.
deep thoughts.
I was going to say I have a new segment, but it's actually the same segment. No. So this is one that really not entirely sure how to take this. My first initial reaction to it was it kind of sent up a red flag to me.
Okay.
But this has happened more than one occasion. We get somebody coming up to the gun counter and they look at in the case, and they see some handguns and they might ask a few questions or just point at one and say, "Can I look at that?" So you'll get it out, and I always clear it to make sure for myself, not for them necessarily, but and then I set it on the counter. Usually flip the price tag over so they can see what they're looking at.
Right.
And in this certain case, I did that, and I sat there and kind of waited for him to grab it. Most
Right.
people do. He didn't grab it initially, so
He just looked at it.
yeah, he just kind of looked at it, and so it's on these little clear mats, so we don't scratch up the glass or anything. And so I kind of pushed that towards him a little bit,
Go ahead.
letting him know
Go
it was
ahead.
okay for him to grab it. And he just kind of like holds his hands up, and he's like, "No, I don't want to touch it. I just."
He
Just
couldn't-
wanted to look at
I
it.
bet you couldn't.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I bet illegally he couldn't.
Yeah, I bet that's kind of what I was getting is maybe, he's not supposed to even be around firearms.
Maybe he just wanted to smell it a little bit.
That could be. But
That's-
and that
that is weird.
Lick
and
it, maybe.
I can see if somebody's timid or
Right.
maybe a little shy about it. They don't want to.
Do you think did he look like the type of person? Maybe he felt uncomfortable with it?
Yeah. I mean, you could tell he was uncomfortable, but I don't know why. And so that's why that red flag just kind of, had he gone further and said, "Yeah, I want to buy that," I'd probably been like, "Eh."
Maybe he wasn't supposed to handle them, but he was just going to go in and look at one anyway. And maybe he got cold feet last minute. Maybe who knows?
Yeah. Well, and in a certain case like that, we've been trained on these straw purchases where somebody's looking at something. Generally, they'll take a picture of it or something, and then a few hours later, somebody comes in and all of a sudden wants to buy it.
Right.
That's kind of a red flag right there too.
It's kind of funny. Why would you go in and take a picture of something and walk away? That when you gave me 30 seconds, I could find that same exact gun online somewhere and show you that picture.
Yeah.
That is weird. That don't make no sense.
Yeah,
And
and they do that because they're usually not legally
Right.
able to buy it.
But this guy that just stared at the gun, did he just wander off?
Yeah, after that, it was pretty much like he kind of looked at it a little bit, told me I just want to look at it. Okay.
Okay.
They got internet searches for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he
weird.
pretty much just
Do an
said,
image search.
yeah, pretty much just said thank you, and then kind of walked away. So I don't know. It was weird.
Well, what gun was it?
was a Ruger. I can't remember.
I was gonna see if it was a high point. Maybe he was just embarrassed to touch it, pick
Well,
it up. His
yeah, that's
buddies
quite
might,
possible.
His buddies might walk in, but a Ruger's not that bad of a gun.
No, yeah, it was a Ruger. I can't even remember which one it was now, but it just was a little odd, and it's happened more than one occasion. You know, just kind of, you just get that weird, what the heck's going on?
That
feeling,
weird
you know?
kind of not, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not normal.
Oh, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe.
Yeah, that don't. I wouldn't even bother you to. Why even get it out?
Yeah,
At
exactly.
least he didn't whip out a pair of gloves and then pick it up.
Well, yeah, I don't want my fingerprints on it.
Well, if he couldn't have got anything, do y'all sell black powder?
Yeah,
A lot of times they'll go for that. They'll walk over.
Get the black powders.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, you understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not giving any advice. I'm just
you know,
saying.
and I don't
He's
know
got
why.
stacks of research at home.
I don't know why this just like popped in my head when he said black powder. Is when we were getting our
I've known
FFL,
people.
you know, from the ATF, they were
Right.
there and they were kind of looking over the building and interviewing us and, you know, seeing if we were legit on getting an FFL and everything. And in our store, we sell, you know, black pipe, caps, cannon fuse, black powder.
You sell cannon fuse?
Yeah. Well, I don't think we do now, but we did
Yeah.
at the time. And I'm like, and I flat out just opened up my mouth, not even thinking about it. I'm
Pipe
like,
bomb.
I'm like, you know, we have everything that we need to make a pipe bomb here. And the ATF agent just looks at me and he's just kind of like, did you really just say that? You know? And I'm like,
Are we not
it's a
supposed to
one-stop
say
shop,
that? Yeah.
you know? It really is.
I'm surprised you still have a job there.
Well,
sir.
I told him, I followed it up. I said, we need to train the cashiers and other people.
right.
If somebody comes in drying all these things at the same time,
This could
do
be a
not
problem.
sell them, you know?
Right.
So
They need to be serious about that. For a long time, you couldn't go into like Lowe's or Home Depot, or even I remember it was Anderson Lumber was
Yeah,
the
good
big one.
fertilizer.
You know, you couldn't
Yeah.
buy the everything you needed to make a spud gun,
yeah, that's true.
a potato gun.
Yeah.
You ever seen those?
Oh yeah.
Is you couldn't. They wouldn't sell you all that stuff together. You have
Yeah.
to send in like 3 different people to get what you needed. Don't ask me how I know that, but you'd have to go to different stores.
So
Why
what
were
did
they
you
stopping
use? Did
the-
you use like Aquanet, the hairspray, or
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it worked out great, man. We used to launch them over Rock Creek
Oh yeah,
Canyon.
yeah.
Bam.
Those things will go.
They will. They were fun.
We made a propane one and
Wow.
took a big pipe. I shouldn't even be telling people this, but did a cantaloupe, stuffed a cantaloupe down that thing,
Ooh,
Wow.
that's
launched
wet.
it clear out into the lake. And I mean, it didn't go across the lake, obviously, but that was pretty cool.
We used to
watching
try
that.
to shoot rock chucks with them. So here's the thing. This is way off topic, okay? But it was kind of a cool. I'd love to see people launch stuff like that into a lake, okay? But there was when I lived in Kansas, we had these big trees called hedgerow trees, and they drop what they call hedge apples. You know what? Are you familiar with those?
Not really.
They're great big green balls. I don't know if they're seed or what, but they're huge.
Okay.
And they'd fall off onto the ground, and they're pretty heavy. You had some pretty good sized ones. And once when I was another rabbit trail here, I was sitting on the tree stand hunting up in the tree the first hunting season I was there, and it was dark, and all of a sudden the wind started blowing these hedge apples, what we call them. They fell out of the tree and hit the freaking tree stand. It's pitch black. I about pissed myself. But anyhow, they had a hedge ball chucking contest every year. It's in the fall. And they'd make these like trebuchets and like
Yeah.
catapults and
kind
stuff.
of like the pumpkin chunking
and
thing.
some of them would make the big air guns, and they'd launch these to see which one could launch it the furthest. And then they got bored of that, and they started flinging stuff like washers and dryers.
Oh, jeez.
But it was really cool to see a washing machine sell through the air. But anyhow, that's kind of a different topic. But
I think
Has
that's-
anybody ever had a spud gun explode on them?
no,
not me,
have you?
No,
No.
no, I haven't.
I don't know. I don't know if it seals up, but I just wouldn't think it would seal up that tight.
When it gets dark, you can see it lightening up in there.
Really?
You can see the flash. Yeah, it'll, and that back cap that you screw on,
Yeah.
it'll give a little jump. But I've never seen one just go off.
I know tomatoes come out pretty messy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like spaghetti sauce flying out there.
So, okay. What about our class today? Mark helped me with our class today. It was a third class in the women's class, set of women's classes that we did.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of rainy. The first rain we've probably seen in about 4 months. And the temperature dropped quite a bit. We had 2 people that couldn't make it. Not for necessarily, well, one lady actually flew in. She'd fly in from like Jackson Hole for every class.
Grief.
From Wyoming, yeah.
Her husband had some little plane, and they'd fly the plane in. And she took my class.
Now, I'm not doubting your qualifications.
Hey, now, easy there.
But they don't have somebody in Wyoming?
I'm just that good.
Okay, all right.
I'm just that good, Mr. I got you on the bullseye.
Props to you. Props to you.
I got you on the bullseye.
Well, probably not. I had to remember.
I did.
Okay.
We dialed you in.
Oh, man, that was a
I was
lifetime
going to say Chris
ago.
Costa's in Wyoming, but
It's a good thing.
he's pretty intense.
It's a good thing I can edit these.
I don't know what you're cutting out.
Yeah. But anyhow, they couldn't make it because they didn't want to fly the airplane in this weather. And then one gal couldn't make it. She had transportation problems. But it was a great class today.
You may not be charging enough.
I may need to charge more.
Yeah, people willing to fly in.
Oh, well, I got them all psyched up about some other classes that I'm talking about doing. In fact, every class that I've had since I started talking about these ammunition rounds, when they ever decide to freaking show up, I've got classes already full, I think. I mean, as of right now, people are like, sign me up. They flat out ask, what they say, where do we sign up at?
Mm-hmm.
These women will want.
Yeah, but they want me to be the bad guy.
Well, of course.
So they can shoot me.
I'm okay with it.
Of course, I'm sending homework home with them, so that's probably
There
why.
you go. But anyhow, it was a good class today. So what did you think about it?
I thought it was pretty good.
They had lots of questions.
Yeah, there was some, they talked a lot, and this colder weather with the them wearing more garments and stuff.
Yeah.
It really brought out concerns about carrying in the holster or concealed carrying with all that clothing on and stuff. So that was kind of a little bit to overcome, on teaching them how to do all that. But
yeah, because they have. Give me just a minute.
Yeah,
I'm going to shut Facebook Live down because we got really bad video feed. Morgan's saying, and I don't know, something up with my computer. So we're shutting this thing down. We'll just go with the show. Sorry, Morgan, we're out. We're done with the video. I don't know what's going on here, but okay,
We're being banned, man. We're being banned.
Something. They missed us on our alerts, our presidential alerts, so they're going to come after us or our computers now. So women, we've decided, obviously, women wear different clothing than guys do. So most of the winter, this is what I'm going to wear, my sweatshirt. That's what I'll wear.
Right.
So these women had sweatshirts on under zip-up coats, and women's coats are a lot more form-fitting than the stuff guys wear. And so they're having to rip up and go through like 2 or 3 layers just to get to their handgun.
They do, and I think women have to overcome a lot more in carrying.
They do, and so we were trying to come up with. I mean, there's different ways to. So like, there's a different way to move the sweatshirt out of the way to get to your firearm. Then there is a zip-up coat if it's loose. And in one lady's zipper only zipped it up. It was broken, so she uses the Velcro. I mean, they're trying to chew through 2 or 3 layers of clothes just to get to their firearm. And I wasn't trying to frustrate them. I just said, hey, it might take you guys. This is why practice is really important for you guys. It might take you guys a little longer just to get to your firearm than it would somebody else. Mm-hmm. And then we started talking to them, seeing that most of their jackets had pockets, like in the chest.
Right.
And so we started talking to them about getting a little plastic holster with some Velcro on it and being able to just drop their gun in that pocket. It might be a lot easier for them in the long run. And then we went into the spiel of how I have a box full of holsters, and you have a holster for every scenario I might find myself in, whether it be running around town, whether it be in class, whether it be at church, whether it be for my suit, whether it be for a pair of sweatpants, jeans, whatever. You have a holster for every occasion, and that's what they're going to end up having, not just one that works for everything. Mm-hmm. But I think they learned a lot today. And they really like shooting around stuff. Did you have something to say?
No.
Oh, you moved. I saw your hand.
Flies coming at me, man.
I know. It's heating up in here. It's warming up.
Good grief.
Yeah, it's.
Well, that's a big one.
Where?
A spider over here.
Oh, yeah. I need to kill it.
That's like most of our
This guy
show.
has a truck full of chemicals.
Every day, every time we do a podcast, a spider gets his little 15-second.
I've got a truck full of chemicals to kill stuff.
Just to kill insects. and it's free.
I'm giving back to the earth. This is a safe space for them.
I think they're plotting on you, man.
So what did you think teaching the part of the class that you taught? You did a pretty good job at that. I don't know that you'd ever done that before.
Not with a group like that, no.
Right.
I mean, I do that with my friends, we just for fun, but
Sure.
no, I think they did fairly well, and they kind of progressed through it a little bit. I mean, there's still a few things that they need to work on. A lot of them were sweeping down across their feet, and I think we fixed that somewhat for the most part.
Right.
So I mean, shooting from behind cover is a little. You're not really gonna feel comfortable doing it. It's just something you don't. If you're getting shot at, then
right.
You want to be behind the cover.
They loved it though.
Yeah, they did. They liked doing it because it's different.
Right. They absolutely loved it. In fact, the one lady said she wished all class was like that. Well, it's like you got to learn the basics before you can get to that point.
Right.
So maybe next summer I'll come up with some classes that are like that, but they do more moving and shooting type of stuff. I have no problem doing that.
That's scary.
That's why you got to start slow. And today they were, we didn't even do any drawing of the firearm today just because they had a lot of coats and stuff to get through, and I just didn't want to go.
Have the ladies tried any of the purses with the built-in?
A couple, not in this class. In the last class they had one lady in the last class. Actually, her name was CJ. She had a backpack because she's got a young little girl. I don't know how old she is. She might be like 4 or 5. I don't know. But so she keeps it as like a diaper bag, and she keeps her purse in one bag. She's got a special pocket in there for her firearm. And she just, were you here the day she was whipping? That wasn't you. Was that you? She's rolling that backpack around and getting in there. That was Norm. So yeah, she carries it kind of on one arm, and she is so proficient in getting her firearm out of there. It is absolutely amazing. She's got one certain pocket she keeps it in, and she's able to grab it and whip it around and just, I mean, she's fast.
Mm-hmm. I kind of have a bug out bag that's like that. It's just a one strap deal.
Yeah,
and you can grab it and just pull it, and it just rotates right around.
Yeah,
and then you can just reach in, grab the gun, and come out with it.
She carries it on her shoulder, and she just grabs it and whips it around. It just spins, bang, 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 like that, and lands right in front of her. And she doesn't even have to think about it. She can get it 100% perfect every single time. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty slick. Yeah, she's put a lot of thought into it, though.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else. I'm not a fan of the fanny pack, but I would do something like that before I had to go through several layers of clothing.
Yeah,
I'd have something where
Well, there's so many options out there. There's so much stuff on the market now that you can actually go and buy. You can buy coats. I mean, you can buy nice jackets that are made for concealed carry and have the pockets inside or even on the outside, but they have special pockets just for a firearm. You mix that with some of the smaller firearms like the Shield or the LCR or something like that that's a polymer that's real lightweight. That's no problem whatsoever. You're not even going to feel. I mean, your phone's going to weigh more than some of these damn guns.
Yeah, and I think we got some more of those in at D&B. Those like coats, the concealed carry jackets and vests and stuff.
Right. So there's you can go there, buy them at D&B. I mean, that'd be a great place to do it because actually you can order them online too, but you never can tell if they're going to fit you or not.
Right.
And that always
it's nicer
sucks.
to be able to try them on and stuff.
Definitely. So I don't know. There's lots of different options. That's for
if
sure.
Nothing else, you can make something. I mean,
you could
get a holster and get it stitched into something. I'd do something. I just wouldn't go through that many layers.
Yeah,
that's just too much fumbling. And
what a lot of women are worried about though is they want to carry on. And a lot of them like the idea of carrying on them because they have kids and they're afraid they're gonna leave their purse down.
Right.
They're afraid they're going to
remember that story in Walmart.
Yep, they're afraid they're gonna pull up to the go up to the post office, leave their purse in the car, run in really quick, and have their kids get to their firearm. They're afraid they're gonna come inside with a bag full of groceries. They're gonna, my wife just drops everything on the floor and the table. She sets down the grocery bags in her purse all at the same time. And if there was a gun in there, then she's got sidetracked because she's got to go get more groceries. And like in Walmart, that store in Walmart, all it takes is seconds.
Yeah, so I understand. That's a good point, but there's still things you can do.
No, there is. It just depends on how dedicated to this you're going to be. But these women had a lot of fantastic questions today. I mean, the first thing we were talking about the weather, but one lady, she just started talking about how says normally before she could drive down the road, just focus on her driving. Her husband could drive right by her. She would never notice him. Now she's noticing things around her. Mm-hmm. She's noticing when her friends and her husband drive by her. She's noticing things in the store. She's thinking about her situational awareness is growing.
She's becoming more hyper aware.
Yeah, which is kind of cool because we mentioned it, but we didn't even concentrate on that in class.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and some people hear this situational awareness or defensive mindset, and they start thinking, "Good grief, you're paranoid. I wouldn't want to live like that."
Right,
it's not like that.
Yeah.
You just start noticing.
And
stuff.
I said it's not being paranoid. It's ABR. It's always be ready.
Right.
It's
it's not on edge kind of thing.
No.
Where people, it's just like, it's just the way you look at things.
Yeah, and they actually brought up the paranoid thing.
So
a lot of people will do that.
So
it's not what it is.
We had that lady that started talking about that, and then on the other hand, we had a gal that doesn't shoot much. She's probably, as of right now, she says she's not going to actually carry, but she goes and shoots with her husband, and she had lots of questions like, or one of her statements was, I'd be too afraid to shoot. How do you decide when they're close enough? How do you decide, is it legal? Can I shoot him now? Am I going to go to jail? Am I going to do this? She had all those questions, but she hasn't been through the concealed carry class. She hasn't had anything pointed out to her. She hasn't learned the law, so she doesn't know any of that, so it's all a big question mark. But she's like, I'd be too afraid I'd use it wrong. I'd use it at the wrong time, and that's legit. That's a legitimate worry.
Yeah.
But that's why you go and you learn, you go take classes, you read things, you get educated on the topic, make those decisions now so you're prepared when you do have to use it, or if you ever have to use it. Hopefully you don't.
Yeah, but it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have
right.
it.
Yeah. And they need to remember it's a tool of last resort.
Right.
It is the last step. It's not, can I do it now? Can I do it now? Are you about to die? I think I am. Use it now. If you're not about to die, run.
I've taken
last resort.
I haven't taught a class, but I've been in some classes. It was my concealed carry class actually when I lived in Kansas.
People asking when can they shoot?
When can I shoot? When can I shoot? And he would give all kinds of. This happened, and I was on this construction site, and this happened, and this happened. Could I have shot him? I'm like,
brother, put the gun
kept
down.
Looking at the instructor going, which was a law enforcement officer. I was like, good Lord, don't give that guy a gun. That dude is looking to shoot somebody.
Looking for a reason.
Guy was half, and then the cop just like looked at me. I actually said, don't give him a gun. But other than that, it was a good class. We kind of did a lot of stuff inside and taught them how to, went over the dry fire thing. We worked on the mantis for a while. So taught them that there's a lot of stuff they could do inside their house. They didn't always have to go to the range. You do want to go and shoot, but too many people, I think it gets cold and gets nasty out, and they just stop. And they don't go back out again ever again, or they don't go back out again until spring. So
it's one of those things. It's easy to put off, and you put it off, and before you know it,
I know
a decade's gone.
I got a range right across my yard, and I don't always get out like I should. I'll find myself doing other stuff.
It gets kind of, like I said, it's kind of boring when you do it by yourself.
It is
you
boring.
You want to do it with somebody else,
right? So,
but life happens too. You got stuff that comes up.
Always work.
Yeah.
Running out of supplies.
How dare you say that 4-letter word?
All kinds of stuff happens. But so what else
did we talk about? I know we were talking about it before the podcast started. The Caldwell guy with the cleaning the gun, or have we already brought that up?
No, we haven't brought that up. So go ahead and talk about that. I'll give you. I got to take a drink of water.
So the story is the man accidentally is a
whoops,
kind of a.
I'm gonna spit my water.
I don't know if that's the right term, but that's what they said.
I just about launched my water.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Shoots his wife cleaning his gun. But if you read the article, it's the gun was pretty much reassembled and put back together when the shot happened.
How do you reassemble your gun when it's loaded?
Well,
he said the gun went off when he was reassembling it.
Yeah, as you were reassembling it, you don't need a round in the chamber to reassemble the gun. That's not required.
You don't?
And virtually every firearm out there is not required. That comes after the gun is assembled.
So what do you think actually happened? You think something fishy happened? Or do you think
I think
it, was just
it sounds
misreported?
fishy to me. It really does. And I think, yeah, they probably were cleaning their guns. And I'm sure he put his back together and loaded it right up with the full magazine or whatever it was. And,
You think
started playing around with it. And next thing you know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
You think maybe no, that would have been a happy ending.
Well, no, I mean in the bad sense,
Yeah.
The
So
bam is the gunshot.
no one knows what happened. So, I mean, he could have reassembled it. He could have loaded the firearm, and do you think maybe he loaded it, like he chambered around, maybe on purpose, and then he thought, well, I wonder how this. It's clean. You know how a clean gun operates like flawlessly usually. I mean, it's real slick. Everything's real good. Mm-hmm. You think maybe he loaded it and then just was like, oh man, this thing runs fantastic, and then just pulled the trigger absentmindedly.
Well, in the armorers class, you always run your test after you reassembled it. You run your checks and everything.
Right.
And pulling the trigger is one of those checks.
I wonder if he just slammed home a full magazine.
Probably did.
And just grabbed a magazine. You probably unloaded it correctly to clean it. I'm giving the guy the benefit of the doubt here.
Well, the story didn't tell us what kind of timetable we had
honestly.
here. Well, it's strange.
But that is the thing. If you get granola in your gun, you got to clean it.
Oh, good Lord.
Hot water will do it.
Expand that stuff. Instant hollow point.
Hashtag Granola Gun.
I like that guy.
You like that guy?
He's got style, man. I like
Oh, man.
I know a guy who, well, I don't know the guy, but, when you run suppressors, if you lube them, they're a lot quieter, and a lot of guys will run the wire pull gel as the lube, and it works. It's nice. It's thicker than water. It lasts longer. One guy couldn't stand it, so he got a strawberry flavored lubricant.
What did they use that for?
And he would buy like 6-7 bottles at a time, but he put it in a suppressor. He said he liked the smell. I'm like, dude,
okay,
whatever
floats
it's
your
like
boat.
Strawberries every time I fire.
That
like,
gun's and all the freaking scratch and sniff.
But he has style. Crazy, but
hey, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Personalize
yeah,
it.
if that's what you want to do.
Now see if you got strawberries mixed with granola. That's not too bad.
Oh gosh. So let me explain what's going on. So I'm a member of this Facebook page, and it's called Concealed Carry, Running and Exercising. Anyhow, it's all about carrying your gun while you run, which I do. And it doesn't get very, very much action as far as people posting stuff. Like I was looking, it's got like 6 or 7 posts in like the last year.
Yeah, it's probably kind of small.
It is. But there's this guy that posted a video, and I can't link the video because they got the page set up where I can't share it. And he's talking about this holster that he uses. And he may be
awesome.
He may be listening to this because I went ahead and made another post and posted the link to the podcast. But he was really proud of this holster. What this holster is?
I'm proud of it too.
It's a
holster. I mean,
it's a thin leather bag that he Jimmy rigged onto his belt. Okay, and it's got like a drawstring. It's a freaking pouch, is what it is. It's like I don't know, it's just weird.
He's multitasking. My man's a genius.
Something. He put a handgun. He carries as a handgun in it, and as he moves around, you see this thing flopping all over the side of him. I can't imagine running or exercising with that. So
beat him up.
I was being nice.
Yeah.
Did you read my response? Was I nice in my response?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
I pretty much said, hey, it does conceal your firearm. I will give you that much. I just don't think that's a good idea. I think it moves around too much. And he goes, thanks for the response. I used it in during a mud runner competition. I'm like, what? And he says he used it during a mud runner. I would imagine that's where you're running through mud and obstacles and stuff. Says it worked out fine for him. He says he told people that's where he kept his granola. And then I said, okay, well, I'm thinking that's not a good idea. And then he goes, no, really, I put my granola in there. And it shows a picture of his handgun in this leather bag with freaking granola in there on top of it, next to it. Now, I screenshotted a lot of these. And so I'm almost thinking I'm going to maybe put them on the page.
What kind of gun was this?
I can't tell I know what he told me.
Okay.
So this is what, and I'm going to read this word for it. It's too good.
It's a bulletproof gun. I know that. In fact, it's so much bulletproof that bullets won't even go through it.
Yeah.
Well, if he's running through the mud, see, my man here is thinking, this is going to keep the moisture out of his firearm.
Yeah, because it'll
granola
just soak it up.
Will soak up the moisture, and he will be ready to fire.
He says he told me he goes. Well, it was full of granola, but the pistol was in it too. And I said, well, that doesn't seem like a good idea to me. He goes, but I only had one pouch. And so then later on, someone says, was that hard to clean out of the weapon when you were done? No, 1911s are bulletproof, although it jams a lot. I don't know why. It just always has. So it's a 1911, but it's bulletproof, but it jams a lot. He doesn't know why.
That it won't shoot bullets.
Yeah.
But it's got nothing to do with the granola.
I said 1911s have a history of not functioning well. Then he responded, I converted it to a 22 short and have had better results. What the hell kind of gun does he have?
22 short.
Why would you convert anything to 20? I wonder if maybe.
First of all, is that even possible?
I don't even think there's a conversion to a 22
no.
short.
Well, let me throw this out. I don't know that it's an actual 1911. I got to thinking. Sometimes if things have a double action, single, whatever, and they are hammer fired, they look at them and so they get. I've seen people get that confused with saying that's like that's a 1911. It's not a freaking 1911. It's a hammer fired pistol. Is what that is. It's not a 1911. And I think that's what he's getting confused. I don't think
I don't think it was a model 1911. I think it's some Chinese knockoff gun that's got 1911 stamped on it.
Oh, that's probably.
He's like, it's a 1911. And it may be bulletproof.
Who knows? Who knows? But you guys looking at the pictures now?
Yeah, it's not a 1911. It doesn't have a grip safety. It's got some weird deal sticking on out the back of the grip. I don't think that's a 1911 at all.
But anyhow, I'll post the pictures on my Facebook page, but talk about insane, man.
That's definitely a hashtag crappy carry for sure.
I've had a couple odd conversations with people in the last couple of weeks, so that was this week. The week before, I talked about it on the show with Josh. I had a guy, we were talking about calibers, and I talked about how 9mm caliber was better because, you got more shots, easier to shoot and all that stuff. And some guy got on there and fought with me, saying that no, people who shot 9mm in defensive confrontations shot worse because they have more rounds, and so they don't care where they hit, and they just pull the trigger more.
Naturally.
So they just pull the trigger more. And so he went on and on and on with me about that. But that's 2 in 2 weeks, man. That's 1 a week. I'm really looking forward to see what's going to happen this week.
Yeah, you're on a roll.
Oh, my. I mean, and that's normally, I sent that to you guys past my freaking bedtime. I mean, that popped up, and I'm like, this is too good, dude. I got to share. I got to share, man.
I'm loving the granola guy.
Hashtag granola gun. That's what Mark said.
Yeah, it's granola gun.
So, anyhow, craziness. I think Dean commented on there and said he couldn't believe that the guy's probably eating tainted granola.
Did you ask him where he was from?
It looked like it was in a diaper or something.
I did not ask where he was from.
We need to know that.
I can go back and find that out.
Probably not anymore. He's gonna listen.
We'll see if he listens to the podcast. I guess we're fixing to find that out real soon. But there's some crazy people out there. There really is. How do you even keep that dry during a mud race?
I'm gonna get a pouch and put Skittles in it, and then when I pull the gun out to use it, I'll just be like, "Taste the rainbow, bitches!"
I like that.
you got a secondary defense going on there. You can throw those on the ground.
Taste the rainbow. That's the phrase of the day, man. I like it. Oh, so the Army might have found a new rifle.
Yeah, odd rifle.
And they found it in a garage.
In a
Colorado.
garage.
Some guy was building it in, I think it was like Boulder, Colorado garage.
Yep.
Now, how much did this guy spend on this?
I don't know. I'm looking it up.
He spent some cash. But
Well, he's patented it, and he actually has a business, I think, on the side, engineering stuff. I don't know. Let me see. In Colorado Springs garage. Let me see. Martin Greer is the guy's name. He's a self-described inventor who has worked at a local bed and breakfast, built the new ribbon gun with hobbyist tools.
hobbyist tools.
Yeah, I will post a link.
That looked pretty nice for some hobbyists.
Yeah, I'll post a link to this. The specifications are incredible. 4 6mm barrels cut side by side within one steel block. New ammunition blocks fired by electromagnetic actuators.
Right.
Okay. Could theoretically give the weapon a firing rate of 250 rounds per second. It's a lot of freaking ammo.
4 barrels, yeah.
Yeah.
You said 6mm?
Yes.
So that's basically 243.
Yeah. And then there's the feature no soldier would turn down. It's called the power shot.
Oh, well. Who
All
would
4
turn that
barrels
down?
at once?
That's the shotgun feature of the sniper shot machine assault gun that can send 4 bullets simultaneously whizzing toward an enemy at more than 2,500. They put miles per hour.
Yeah, it'd be feet per second.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. There was some poor reporting on this.
That's probably a Democrat that made that article.
So it's crazy. It's pretty cool. It's really cool looking gun though. to be
So
honest.
basically what he's got is a trigger.
Oh,
Because
he
if
made
you
the
can fire, what is it, 250 rounds? Let's say how many rounds?
250 rounds per second.
So that's how fast the trigger can fire, but you're not going to cycle anything like that. But if you put something like that on, say, a minigun, you could definitely kick it up.
Right.
I don't know can you kick up a minigun?
I don't know. Listen, they said 250 rounds per second. Maybe they screwed that up.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it's per minute and like the miles per hour. Which
Yeah,
was,
maybe.
you know, what the hell? Is this like a liberal leaning publication? I didn't even see where it came from.
Well, it's Colorado, so.
Well,
could
that's
be.
true.
Yeah, Colorado.
Probably somebody got high and then wrote the article.
Possibly. So, anyhow, it's a pretty cool looking gun, though.
It is a cool looking gun, and
We'll see what happens.
this guy out of his garage, no matter, some part of it's going to get implemented somewhere, or either somebody's going to come along and want to buy it so they can stop it.
Well, and you know,
Yeah,
if the government wants it bad enough, then
He's
his
set.
patent won't matter. They're just going to take it.
Yeah, because
anyway.
you patent
Yeah.
it through the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to go sue the government?
He's screwed. Let me see here. What other stories did we miss here? Come on, guys. You guys remember anything?
I got stuck on the granola gun. That was the most awesome story of the day. And it wasn't even a story.
Let's see.
I'm watching that spider. I don't want him to fall on me or nothing.
Well, I tell you what, I'm I'm gonna pull the, excuse the pun. I'm gonna pull the trigger actually, and I found an app that would we could do some interviews with some people on our phones. Did I tell you
Okay.
about that, Tarver?
Yeah. No,
I'm not gonna use the app though. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy. I've got a thing called an iRig. It'll plug into your computer and phone, and I'm buying a mixing board. I'm just waiting. My IT guy, the guy that helps me out, Brad, he's gonna. I just want to make sure I've chosen the right pieces, the right kind. And as soon as I get the okay from him, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy them. We're gonna next time you guys come in. Hopefully, got a big mixer board. I think
maybe we won't come in. Maybe we'll just call.
I don't know if you want me to be here because I like knobs and switches and different stuff like that. So
and I don't know how it works, so I don't
I'll be
care.
like, "Whoop, whoop."
But my goal is there's a guy I know from back east. He puts on that running gun that I talked about doing a while back.
Yeah.
And they don't really do them over here. But they do them. You blinded now?
Oh my goodness, that sun just got really bright.
It's a good thing the stars right there.
Yeah.
But he talked about wanting to maybe us talking to him. He'd come on the podcast and talk about that and tell us all about a running gun and how to put one on. Maybe that's in our future. Want to put on a running gun, Tarver?
I'll watch it.
What about you, Mark?
Can I like judge the scores of the shooters and stuff?
Am I going to be the only guy running and gunning?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna cheer you along, though.
Oh, come on. You guys are no fun, but anyhow, so if I can get that this week, we'll get him on, and hopefully my goal is I'm not against groveling a little bit. I'm not against sending out emails to different companies or whatever and trying to see if we can do phone interviews with people. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, if you can get somebody. I mean,
Yeah, as long as we don't piss them off.
yeah, that's true.
No, that's well,
We'll have to stop talking bad about them.
depend.
We'll get Diamondback to.
No, jeez. Well, we thought maybe what we do is whenever they have one of these gun shows at Filer, we'd send someone over there, one of us over there, with the phone, and you could call. It would be like live from the gun show, dude. That'd be freaking sweet.
What kind of guns they got over there? Bunch of Mosin Nagants. That's about it.
Expensive pieces of crap.
Really? I've never been there.
Oh, it's all overpriced.
Okay, well, you just got blocked from going there.
if you're looking for some oddball ammo, sometimes you can find it.
If
there.
I'm paying $7, they'll let me in the door.
Yeah, you got to pay to get into the place. I
Yeah,
don't
you do.
understand that.
Don't they have gun stores that showing up out there? I mean,
No, most
Not-
of these just
not
old
usually.
guys.
A bunch of old people.
so it's just stuff out of people's closets.
And
yeah,
they-
but you can find some like hard to find ammo there. That's,
And then usually a big sign that says you can't. If you're going to take a gun in, you're not supposed to bring in a firearm. And if you do, it's got to be one that you're selling because people walk around selling firearms, And they've got to like check it and like flag it, empty. And usually I just walk right in with my concealed carry gun, just shaking my head, going, "Yeah, go ahead and try to pat me down.
Yeah, none of your business, man.
None of your damn business." But
That's crazy. You have a gun where they sell guns and everything, and all of a sudden they want to disarm everybody. Get out of here.
yeah,
Not happening.
well, and that place is just—they sell a lot of knives and like crystals and books.
incense.
It's kind of like
that.
kind of like a big flea market.
yeah, it kind of is.
It's different.
So you get those big old knives with the dragon handle on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah, all those awesome ones.
called Deathblade 2000.
All the kids buy because they're $5 a piece.
The phony K-bars that Rambo had.
You can't even butter bread with them. So, well,
And when is that? When do they have that?
they have it like twice a year.
Good
Yeah,
God,
usually
twice
like
a year. They get enough business for that?
Yeah, I think there's usually one in February and April or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
February.
we'll keep an eye on it. I'm serious. If
I might have to go. I might have to go see this, man.
will you call us on the cell phone?
I'll call.
I think that'd be some from you. I think that'd be some freaking awesome commentary. That would be so freaking cool.
I'll see what I can get away with out there.
Maybe we'll send a couple of you guys out, and I'll sit back here and we'll just take your call, and you can just talk on it as you walk around, and I'll tell you, and you can both call in. Maybe I can run two phones at once, and we can have a little contest to see who can find the
dragon
the
knife.
dragon knife first. Who can get the best price on the dragon knife?
They'll have a butterfly knife that you try and flip it open and it comes apart. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Walmart recalled a whole bunch of hatchets because the heads were coming off when you would go back to swing it, and they'd just fling right off.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's not good. Are you watching that spider?
Oh yeah.
What kind of hatchet was that?
A bad one?
That's on a wood handle? I mean, that's a...
It was a bad hatchet.
Yeah, that's kind of... I'm not understanding that. I mean, it's kind of hard to screw up a hatchet.
Well, Walmart did. Just throw it on the ground.
Chinese hatchet.
So anyhow, I don't know what you guys are doing the rest of the day, but my wife and kids are gone till tomorrow, and I'm still batching it,
Uh-oh.
and I think I'm going to go for a run. I'm living on the wild side.
Okay.
Living dangerously. I'm going to go for a run.
Run in the mud.
I might go for a ride. In
Okay.
the mud.
On your new four-wheeler.
Four-wheeler.
Bought a new quad.
Well,
I'm going to go for a run, come home, fire up the wood stove, and my stupid phone. Fire up the wood stove and watch TV the rest of the night.
You could cook a turkey.
I'm not going to.
No, you could.
I cooked bacon and hamburger last night. It was awesome.
Oh man, look
Like-
at you!
like
you
good-
falling off the wagon.
No, this was like good bacon, and
Okay.
yeah, healthy bacon. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get online. I need to update. I need to redo Patriot Defense website. It's pretty sad. It's one of those things like I never put it. Occasionally, I'll get an email from somebody or a phone message. So yeah, I was recommended to take a class from you, and I got online. I see you have a website, but I see that your last class was like a year and a half ago. So I don't update the website. So I'm going to get in there, rearrange some things, try to update it. I might even put a page on there with our podcast on it.
Did you do your own
I'm a
website?
slacker? Yeah.
Is it like a plug and play kit, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's like a plug and play. It's through Weebly. You can get on there, and they pretty much show you how to do it.
Okay.
So I'm not that computer literate. Are you kidding me? I can't even run Facebook Live.
That's Facebook. They're trying to stop us, man.
I don't know.
They're fighting against us.
Facebook it's been acting up for like the last month.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's that computer. I don't know.
Probably.
Might
It's
run
probably
better with
Facebook, honestly.
might run better with a bullet hole through it.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but I think we're.
MacBooks everywhere.
We should try that.
How you guys? You guys all done? Do you think for today?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, good.
Okay, we're good. So why don't you throw out the podcast hotline in case somebody wants to call? That used to be popular.
Yeah. You know,
We probably
you can
insulted
still
them.
use the phone, people.
It's right.
It's you just got to pick up the phone, and there's these little buttons on it, and you just push the numbers.
Just cancel the presidential alert and
Yeah,
go straight to
yeah.
your the calling function on your phone.
In fact, the presidential alert actually told you if you didn't read it, it told you to call the podcast hotline, and the number is 1-208-696-4397. Also, reach us by email at patriotdefense13@yahoo.com. Questions, comments, anything you have. If you disagree with us, please say something so we can actually have a conversation.
Yeah, we like that. If you disagree, if you're pissed off at us, we like that kind of confrontation.
Oh yeah,
too.
we love the conversations that happen from disagreements.
And hopefully in a week I can get you on the podcast. You can just call in, man. That'd be freaking awesome. We want all your hate mail.
yeah, just don't put any ricin or like anthrax or in the mail.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Interesting marketing campaign. We know you hate us. Quit hiding.
Let us know. Anyhow, until then, we will talk again next week. See ya.